Weird, isn't it? People are here 1 minute, and then they're not.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking at times when characters had to die because the actor did.
Big Bird, don't you remember we told you? Mr. Hooper died.
Beware of spoilers. Angela, Family Guy. Angela fits right into Family Guy's chaos as Peter's tough-as-nails supervisor. Someone had to keep Peter in line, or at least try to. That person was Angela.
Wanted to tell you that Opie will not be receiving Employee of the Month because he's being promoted.
Oh, yes! That means I'm Employee of the Month!
No, you're not, Griffin. I'm giving it to Soundwave.
So I can just put my stuff anywhere?
Sometimes she was his boss, other times she was a woman weirdly into him or simply someone who wanted him dead. Classic Family Guy, right?
Yeah, this is gonna work out just fine. Excuse me.
Played by Carrie Fisher, yep, Princess Leia herself, Angela's deadpan delivery was the perfect contrast to the show's over-the-top humor. Sadly, after Fisher passed in 2016, Angela had to also die off-screen. But the show didn't let her go without a moment. Peter delivers a surprisingly heartfelt eulogy that might have you tearing up.
She had grace, courage, and an unmatched zest for life. She may be gone, but her voice will live on in DVD and Hulu Plus and tiny droid-projected messages. I may have lost a boss, but heaven has gained a princess.
Judge Dennis, Ally McBeal. Judge Dennis, aka Happy, wasn't a main character, but he definitely added some spice to this legal drama. This grumpy old judge occasionally gave Ally a hard time in court, and honestly, it pushed her to grow more. Anyone who remembers him knows one thing for sure. He doesn't mess around when it comes to personal care.
Let me see your teeth.
I beg your pardon?
Hygiene is important to this court. Show me your teeth. Okay, court course and you owe me. Have him work out a schedule with probation.
Sadly, Judge Dennis's time on the show is short. In the second season's 7th episode, he suddenly dies while in court. The reason? Phil Leeds, the beloved actor behind the role, had died from pneumonia in 1998. The show has just enough existing footage to craft a fitting end that matched the quirky tone. Despite being brief, it's a heartfelt farewell to a scene-stealing legend.
The man lying there. Show him your teeth.
Yes!
LMA Farmer, The District. Here, Lynn Thigpen doesn't play an angry parent who goes up against Morgan Freeman like she did in Lean on Me. Instead, she takes on the role of LMA Farmer, a crime analyst known for her integrity, intelligence, and unwavering sense of justice.
I thought you said you didn't have the money to have these cars dressed up.
Oh, I got creative.
These are the chop shop suspects. What are they doing out?
Community service. I made a deal with the assistant U.S. attorney.
Thigpen's portrayal brought warmth and depth to the role, giving Ella a commanding presence that was widely praised. Her death from a cerebral hemorrhage in 2003 hit pretty hard, both on and off screen. Many felt the series had lost a vital part. The series didn't shy away from the loss. In the episode titled LMA, writers gave her a stirring farewell, with characters like Chief Jack Mannion and others visibly shaken, just like the viewers at home.
I never believed in pure goodness until my first day on the job. The day we met. God, just so much of my heart that's gone.
Lenny Briscoe, Law & Order franchise. Played by Jerry Orbach, Lenny Briscoe is a beloved character on Law & Order, with his sarcastic wit and world-weary charm at crime scenes. Briscoe felt more human and relatable than most TV detectives. Also beneath the one-liners was a deeper character, a man with alcohol use disorder and a flawed father.
I called the station, they told me it was your day off, so I figured, hey, some of my best memories are picking up your winnings at OTB.
I was a hell of a daddy.
You were fine.
When I could stand up.
Briscoe stuck around for 12 seasons, which speaks volumes about how central he was in the franchise's legacy. When he died from prostate cancer in 2004, it felt like the show's soul left with him.
25 years of joy. Till death did them part.
The seasoned detective made his final appearance in Law & Order Trial by Jury. Though a memorial was planned, it was never shown. Instead, his absence is simply acknowledged when his former partners later mention he's gone.
We're losing a lot of people, Lou. I talked to Lenny a few days before the end, and he was still cracking jokes.
Good old Lenny.
J.R. Ewing, Dallas. It's no exaggeration to call J.R. Ewing one of TV's greatest characters. Played by Larry Hagman, this ruthless oil tycoon was the kind of character people love to hate.
Don't forgive and don't forget. And do unto others before they do unto you. And most especially, keep your eye on your friends, because your enemies will take care of themselves.
He lied, schemed, and even betrayed family members just to stay on top. Yet fans couldn't just get enough of him. Indeed, his presence made Dallas unforgettable. Who could forget the Who Shot JR cliffhanger? One of TV's most watched events, it cemented his legacy. But when the 2012 revival series came around, things took a somber turn. JR was shot again, this time for good. Viewers are made to believe he was killed by an unknown assassin, but in reality, it was Hagman's death that ended his story.
I don't want it to be true, but it is. My brother is dead. And so now I have to figure out just what I'm supposed to do.
Glenn Carter, The Blacklist. Only a few people can drive Raymond Reddington completely insane and get away with it. Glenn Carter was at the top of that list. A DMV employee by day and Raymond's part-time tracker, Glenn helped Red locate what or whoever needed to be found.
I don't have time, and yet you've had me waiting out there for over 45 minutes. Do you know the vending machine is broken? It's as if you enjoy making people miserable. I work at the DMV!
Though he was stubborn, petty, and painfully slow, he somehow got the job done, and Raymond respected him for it. He truly brought the kind of humor that was rare in the Blacklist's high-stakes world. When Glenn died in Season 8, it wasn't just the loss of Raymond's dear friend. It was a heartfelt tribute to Clark Middleton, the actor who portrayed him. Sadly, both the character and actor passed away from the West Nile virus.
No matter how hard or unfair life was to Glenn, Glenn loved life back.
Andrew Campbell, Mad Men. During his short time on Mad Men, Andrew Campbell left quite a poor impression. He was the kind of father no son would want, especially not Pete. Distant and dismissive, he looked down on his son's profession.
There's a lot more to it than that.
Advertising. Really? See, if someone were to tell me there's a lot more to the law, I'd believe them.
I can't explain how business works to you.
In Season 2, Andrew abruptly dies in a plane crash. A fittingly impersonal end for a cold character who kept everyone at arm's length. But off-screen, the reason was far more tragic. His death reflects the real-life loss of actor Christopher Allport, who passed away in an avalanche in 2008. The writers wove this loss naturally into the show, giving Pete a lot to think about, though the real-life tragedy had come without warning.
When I woke up, I felt fine for a minute. Then I remembered.
You should be thinking about the good times.
Right.
Richard Gilmore, Gilmore Girls, A Year in the Life. Let's be sincere, this heartwarming comedy drama wouldn't have felt the same without Richard Gilmore. Portrayed by Edward Herrmann, he was an important figure in both Lorelei's and Rory's lives. Sure, his old-school ways often clashed with Lorelei's choices, but beneath that exterior was a man who cared for his child. Plus, he was a truly doting grandfather to Rory and grew even more lovable as the show progressed.
All right, who's next? Tara's giving you any trouble?
Not any more than usual. However, there is a girl in my modern poetry class who keeps kicking my chair.
Ah, I do love this place.
Right back at you, Grandpa.
While he survives a heart attack in the original show, Richard is nowhere to be found in the 2016 miniseries. In fact, his death kicks off an entire story arc since Herrmann passed away in 2014. To honor him, the writers included a heartfelt funeral, paying their last respects to a beloved figure.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
One of his favorites.
A classic for a classic. Hear, hear.
Dr. Charles Kroger, Monk. When you're a Sherlock-level detective with a host of phobias and extreme anxiety, you need someone like Dr. Kroger in your corner. Brought to life by Stanley Camel, Dr. Kroger is Monk's longtime psychiatrist and essentially his emotional lifeline. Their therapy sessions gave viewers a deeper look into Monk's mind and were often as touching as they were funny.
You know, you've been stuck at square one for a long time.
I hate square one.
Well then, let me be the first to say, welcome to square two.
How many squares are there?
We'll just take it one step at a time.
What square is Harold on?
Doesn't matter.
I understand.
Unfortunately, after the show's break between seasons 6 and 7, Monk's emotional anchor was gone forever. What happened? Camel died of a heart attack in 2008, and the character had to go in a similar fashion. It wasn't only Monk who was shaken by this development. Fans were heartbroken too. Honestly, losing Kroger felt like losing a piece of the show's heart.
The man saved my life. You didn't know me before, Dr. Kroger. I mean, I was a little messed up. You know, he wasn't just a therapist. He was Dr. Kroger.
Gramps, Lassie. Many today might not remember this 1954 series about the heroic collie dog named Lassie and her human companions. But for those who grew up with Lassie, they'll never forget Gramps, played by George Cleveland.
All right, Porky, throw me a couple. Are you a knuckleball artist or a speed merchant?
I just close my eyes and let go. If I'm lucky, the ball gets to the plate.
That's the kind of a pitcher I like.
No one embodied a sense of family more than this caring grandpa. Not only was Gramps there for the boy and the dog, he anchored the show with old-school wisdom and a kind of warmth that was unforgettable. Then suddenly, Gramps was gone. But it wasn't an intentional move to kill off the character. Cleveland had died of a heart attack during production, so the show had no choice but to bring Gramps' story to an end as well.
I don't suppose you've had time to think about what you're going to do with the farm.
Oh, no. Frankly, Jenny, it all happened so suddenly.
Of course.
Peter Gregory, Silicon Valley. A major character in the first season of Silicon Valley, Peter Gregory was a socially awkward tech investor hoping to get a piece of Pied Piper.
I'm paying you $200,000 for 5%, yet you're giving this man twice that in exchange for a futon and some sandwiches?
He was played by Christopher Evan Welsh, who was unfortunately taken from us at a relatively young age. Welsh was diagnosed with lung cancer in 2010 and passed away 3 years later at the age of 48. He died on December 2nd, 2013, 4 months before Silicon Valley premiered on HBO.
Come back in 48 hours with an airtight business plan, a clear go-to-market strategy, and a 3-year summary P&L, or there will be no check.
Welsh was about midway through filming the first season, having completed 5 of its 8 episodes. It was later explained that Peter Gregory died while on a trip to the Serengeti.
Peter Gregory is dead.
What? Holy shit.
Sergeant Phil Esterhaus, Hill Street Blues. A highly acclaimed police drama, Hill Street Blues was way ahead of its time and is regarded as a predecessor to the prestige cable dramas of the 2000s. Michael Conrad played Sergeant Phil Esterhaus, known for his iconic catchphrase,
"Let's be careful out it."
Conrad won 2 Emmys for Outstanding Supporting Actor before passing away in November 1983 from urethral cancer.
Off the record, you promised me you'd be careful out there, but you weren't.
There goes double for me, Frank.
Conrad was 58 years old, and the show was in the middle of its 4th season. Esterhaus was subsequently killed off, but not how you may think. Rather than going out in a blaze of glory, he dies while making love.
Phil Esterhaus passed away this morning. Suffered a heart attack.
It's different, but it sure is memorable. Selma Hacker and Florence Kleiner, Night Court. This NBC sitcom suffered a number of tragedies with eerie similarities. The first 2 seasons starred a gruff, chain-smoking character named Selma Hacker, played by an actress named Selma Diamond.
Selma, you haven't touched your food.
I've touched it, I've chewed it, I've swallowed it. Now it's up to my enzymes.
Unfortunately, Diamond died of lung cancer on May 13, 1985, just 4 days after the season 2 finale. Her character was killed off and replaced with Flo Kleiner, played by Florence Hallop.
What can I do for you?
I'm here for the job.
What job is that?
What is this, a wetsuit?
Oh, well, we interviewed for bailiffs last week.
I'm late.
Like Diamond before her, Hallop died of lung cancer shortly after the conclusion of season 3. And like her predecessor, Flo Kleiner was killed off, with her death being announced by Judge Harry Stone.
When Selma died, I felt loss. When Florence died, I felt loss. Because I cared very much for them.
Carl Kanniski, Gimme a Break. This was an incredibly successful sitcom in its day, running for 6 seasons between 1981 and 1987. It starred Dolph Sweet as Chief Carl Kanniski, a widowed police officer who's often at odds with his daughters.
What are you reading this garbage for?
It's our schoolwork.
Is that what they teach you? No wonder the schools are overcrowded.
Sweet was informed midway through the 4th season that he had stomach cancer, but he continued to film the show. He ultimately died from the cancer on May 8, 1985, just 3 days before the 4th season finale.
Wait a minute, Chief. Jonathan is a very nice young man. It's just that whenever he's around you, he falls apart. You just have to get to know him.
No, I don't.
Sweet's funeral was held on the night of its airing, with his co-star Nell Carter delivering the eulogy. Season 5 opens with an acknowledgement that Chief had died, and the episode is handled with mature grace as the characters learn to grieve his passing.
Listen, Joey. The chief is no longer with us. So you're just going to have to show him some respect.
Neil Winters, The Young and the Restless. Perhaps the most famous soap opera in TV history, The Young and the Restless has been going strong since 1973 and has aired well over 12,000 episodes. Between 1991 and 2019, Christoph St. John starred as Neil Winters and won 2 Daytime Emmy Awards for his performance.
Since 1991, he played Neil Winters on the soap opera and earned 2 Emmys for his role.
St. John died at the age of 52 from hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, a condition in which the heart thickens to an abnormal size and is thus unable to pump blood correctly.
Christoph St. John also leaves behind 2 daughters, and tonight, so many questions over his untimely death.
His death occurred on February 3rd, 2019, and just 2 months later, his character was killed off after suffering a stroke.
You're the voice that carries through. I'm still learning.
Sergeant Nick Yamana, Barney Miller. A popular ABC sitcom, Barney Miller took place within a police station and concerned the wacky officers that inhabited it. One of them was Sergeant Nick Yamana, a philosophical man known for making a particularly bad cup of coffee.
Come on, you know I depend on you for 100 different things.
Coffee, filing, spring cleaning.
Yeah. But also for your experience, your sense of humor that gets us through the day.
Nick was played by Jack Sue, who died of cancer midway through the show's 5th season on January 11th, 1979. It was later implied that Nick had died, and the 5th season ends with the episode Jack Sue, a retrospective.
He said to each of us, sit down and write something you'd like to say about your relationship with Jack. Whatever you'd like to say.
It sees the actors breaking character to acknowledge the legacy of their coworker, and it closes with everyone raising a cup of coffee in salute.
To you, Jack.
Dr. Virgil Swan, Smallville. This superhero show about a young Clark Kent features an exceptionally cool cameo from Christopher Reeve, who played the hero in 4 Superman movies.
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me. Who's got you?
In 1995, Reeve was in an accident that left him with paralysis, and his use of a wheelchair was written into the character of Dr. Virgil Swan.
It's a message from the stars, Clark. All my life I've been staring out into space, wondering is anybody else out there? And then 13 years ago, I got an answer.
It was a brilliant and touching passing of the torch that honored the series' iconic history. Unfortunately, Reeve fell into a coma after going into cardiac arrest and died on October 10, 2004. In the 4th season episode Sacred, which aired 4 months later, a newscast explains that Dr. Swan had also died.
We have just confirmed that Dr. Virgil Swan passed away this morning. No further details have been released. The reclusive billionaire will be remembered as one of the leading philanthropists of his generation.
Livia Soprano, The Sopranos. Our vote for the worst mother in TV history has to go to Livia Soprano.
Oh, listen to him. He knows everything. You want some lunch? I got eggplant.
No, I just ate.
A real nasty piece of work. Livia served as a primary antagonist throughout the first 2 seasons, often coming into conflict with her son, Tony.
Before you do any more serious damage to yourself or your grandchildren's inheritance, you're gonna stop living alone right now.
This show is known for having some anticlimaxes, and Livia's role is one of them. A major plotline between Tony and Livia is established at the start of the 3rd season, but then she randomly dies of a stroke off screen and the story is promptly dropped.
Oh, your mother died.
You're kidding. I mean, Jesus Christ.
This is because Nancy Marchand, the woman who expertly portrayed Livia, had died in real life after a bout with various lung diseases. Barry Frost, Rozolei and Isles. A TNT police procedural, Rozolei and Isles stars Angie Harmon as Boston detective Jane Rozolei.
This looks more like a squad room than a home.
Yeah.
Jane, you need a break. A home is a refuge, a place where you're supposed to get away from your problems.
Some psycho burns it down.
Her partner through the first 4 seasons was a computer whiz named Barry Frost, who was played by Lee Thompson Young.
Ross, your mom's here.
Hey, Mom. How'd you get here so fast?
We got off to an early start.
In August of 2013, Young was filming the 4th season of Rozolei and Isles when he failed to show up to set. A well-being check was conducted, and it was found that Young had taken his own life. He was only 29 years old. Barry's last appearance occurs in the penultimate episode of Season 4, and it's explained in the 5th season premiere that he died in a car accident.
Barry was so many things to so many people.
Mrs. Wolowitz, The Big Bang Theory. Carol Ann Susie was a highly talented voice actress. With nothing but her signature rasp, Susie made the unseen Mrs. Wallowitz an enduring, hilarious, and unforgettable character.
I suppose I could stay for some dessert.
Great. You like chocolate chip cheesecake?
Sure.
I'll make one.
And she died as she lived, completely off screen. Mrs. Wallowitz dies in the 8th season episode The Comic Book Store Regeneration, and it's explained that she passed in her sleep while visiting her sister in Florida.
What's wrong? My mom died. What? That was my aunt. Ma took a nap. She never woke up.
Susie's death was just as sudden and surprising. She went in for a medical procedure and discovered that she was suffering from cancer. Her health quickly worsened and she passed away just 1 week later at the age of 62. Bill McNeil, News Radio. Phil Hartman brought his signature style of comedy to a variety of projects, including Saturday Night Live, where he earned an Emmy.
There's going to be a whole bunch of things we don't tell Mrs. Clinton. Fast food is the least of our worries.
One of his most beloved roles was on News Radio as Bill McNeil, an egotistical yet hilarious anchor at the WNYX station.
Dave's gone too far this time. Imagine an office without snacks.
Hartman played McNeil for 4 out of 5 seasons. Tragically, after the show's 4th season, Hartman was fatally shot by his wife before she took her own life. The show's 5th season premiere was able to act as a tribute to the character by saying his character died off-screen from a heart attack.
As far as memorial services go, I thought that was very nice.
His absence on the show was definitely felt by all. Ernie Coach Pantuso, Cheers. Every character on this classic sitcom brings their specific charm. For the bartender, Ernie Coach Pantuso, it was his sweet but very dim-witted nature.
I think he's a big pansy making a big fuss over some intense pain. How many times did you play hurt, Sam?
Now and then.
I must have got hit by 100 fastballs.
Actor Nicholas Colasanto embodied Coach's personality flawlessly and turned him into one of the most popular characters. Sadly, the actor passed away in 1985 from a heart attack after playing Coach for the first 3 seasons.
Coach, we were gonna kiss. We were? You mind if I do these first?
Since his passing occurred in the middle of season 3, his character was initially just not around, but the season 4 premiere eventually confirmed Coach had died. Woody Harrelson was brought in to fill the role of the bar's resident dummy with a heart of gold.
I'm a friend of Coach's. Is he around?
I'm sorry, Woody. I guess you hadn't heard. No, Coach passed away a couple months ago. But yeah, I'd like to think he's still around.
During the finale, the show still took a moment to pay one final tribute to Coach. Edna Krabappel, The Simpsons. The Simpsons has an incredible cast of kooky recurring characters. One of the most frequently featured staples was the cynical elementary school teacher, Edna Krabappel.
Mrs. Krabappel, if I don't get at least a C average, I can't go to Camp Krusty.
Have a delightful summer.
During Marsha Wallace's 14-year history as the character, she earned an Emmy for outstanding voiceover performance. In 2013, the actress passed away due to complications from pneumonia. Although Krabappel's death was never explicitly stated on the show, there are several hints towards that being the case.
I have to stay here in Springfield because boys like Bart Simpson need me.
Bart's chalkboard message to her following Wallace's passing and several mentions of her from other characters made it clear that Edna didn't simply retire. Mr. Hooper, Sesame Street. Although the majority of the most famous characters from this educational series are puppets, Mr. Hooper certainly left his mark.
Hi, Mr. Hooper.
Oh, hello, Gordon. How are you?
While the owner of Hooper's store could be a bit harsh, he undeniably had a warm heart. Will Lee played Mr. Hooper from the show's beginning in 1969 until 1982 when he died of a heart attack. No one would have blamed the kids show for writing the character off in a gentle way.
Last but not least, ta-da!
Oh, look at that one. That's nice. So beautiful.
However, the show decided to address his death through a storyline with Big Bird in a way its young viewers could understand.
Big Bird, when people die, they don't come back. Ever? No, never.
Sesame Street was praised for handling such a serious topic with sensitivity and understanding. They made sure that children and adults could say goodbye to Lee's Mr. Hooper. Owen Granger, NCIS Los Angeles. Miguel Ferrer went from playing recurring character Owen Granger on NCIS Los Angeles to being a part of the main fabric of the show.
Go into the main building, tell them to lock the doors and keep security and PD away. I'll handle this.
While he was still acting on the program, he was diagnosed with throat cancer. A behind-the-scenes decision was made to reveal that the Granger character was also suffering from a cancer ailment caused by risky career choices.
I'm afraid he's gone.
Gone?
From what I understand, one minute he was here and the next minute he wasn't.
Within the show, the character left a hospital where he was being treated to spend time with his family. In real life, Ferrer had passed away in a house he shared with his loved ones. The show concluded Granger's storyline by letting the audience know he had died peacefully in a beautiful place.
I got to know my father and he got to know me. It was a wonderful week.
Leo McGarry, The West Wing. Aaron Sorkin's The West Wing had a wonderful cast of deep characters and engaging plot lines that helped earn the show more than 24 Emmys. One of its Emmys went to John Spencer, who played the president's chief of staff, Leo McGarry.
Well, you're president of the United States. You're delivering the State of the Union address tomorrow night. India and Pakistan are pointing nuclear weapons at each other, and you have 102-degree fever. So I guess we're out of the woods.
McGarry's dynamics with other characters was fascinating to watch. His friendship with President Jed Bartlett was particularly engaging. Sadly, that friendship was cut short when Spencer died of a heart attack in 2005, partway through filming the show's final season. At the time, Leo was running for vice president. The series had him also die of a heart attack on election night. In a touching moment, the writers made it clear Leo would have become vice president. Fred Andrews, Riverdale. Luke Perry became a teen icon while playing Dylan on Beverly Hills 90210. He returned for a whole new generation of teen drama on Riverdale to play Archie's father, Fred Andrews.
Welcome home, Ferris. Sneaking out, breaking curfew, getting into fights.
Dad, don't freak out, okay? I was with Josie helping the Pussycats with a song they're doing at that Taste of Riverdale thing. And I was hoping you would let me go.
Thanks to Perry's fine work, his relationship with his son felt real, and the character felt incredibly compassionate. The show demonstrated his selflessness by having Fred sacrifice his life to push a stranger out of the path of a speeding car.
Another vehicle came upon them way too fast, and he was struck by it.
In reality, this turn was written in response to Perry's passing of a stroke in 2019 at just 52. Riverdale's Season 4 In Memoriam episode served as a touching tribute to the character and actor. Perry's Beverly Hills co-star Shannon Doherty also made a guest appearance as the stranger he saved.
You're the one he was helping.
I mean, cars just, they kept whizzing by. Nobody would stop, but your dad did.
Finn Hudson, Glee. Corey Monteith was best known for playing Glee's Finn Hudson. The star quarterback celebrated his love for singing by joining the signature club.
I wish that I had Jesse's girl. Where can I find a woman like that?
After 4 years of playing the character, the world was rocked with shocking news. The 31-year-old was found dead in his hotel room with a mix of alcohol and other substances in his system. Following his death, the production start date for the show's 5th season was pushed back.
Sort of cheesy. Now it's beautiful. I just had to see it.
They eventually addressed Finn's passing in the quarterback without giving details about how he died. For the remainder of the series, the show continued to honor the memory of one of the Glee Club's brightest stars. Adam West, Family Guy. For years, the silly antics of Mayor Adam West provided some of the best moments on Family Guy. Having the hilariously odd character actually be voiced by the former Batman star just made everything more delightful.
My name isn't Adam Wee. Or is it? Who am I? What number did you dial? Don't ever call here again. I guess I told him, nobody messes with Adam Wee.
In 2017, West died from leukemia, and like the rest of us, Family Guy said goodbye to its mayor. But life in Quahog continued on. The town's high school was renamed after West in tribute. In his stead, his cousin Wild West, voiced by Sam Elliott, took his place.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Paul Hennessy, 8 Simple Rules.
Originally titled 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter, the sitcom followed the trials and tribulations of an overbearing father as his teen daughters began to date.
You will continue to date her and no one but her until she is finished with you, because if you make her cry, I will make you cry.
Legendary sitcom actor John Ritter was praised for his take as family patriarch Paul. Tragically, he passed away of an aortic dissection while filming the second season. The show took a break in production to reshape the series.
Supposed to be back in 10 minutes. He's running a stupid errand. He was supposed to be back, and he was taking us to school.
After it returned, the show spent an hour-long episode to serve as a tribute to Paul. Subsequent episodes also showed the impact of his death on his family.
And I always hated it when he did that. I just want my dad back. Bridget, leave me alone.
While the show was never quite the same after Paul's absence, Ritter and his final leading role weren't forgotten.
Which of these characters' deaths hurt you the most? Let us know in the comments section.
That was Angela. Fearless, spontaneous, honest. About herself just as much as she was about the world around her.